So tonight I'm going to tackle, or attempt to tackle, the exhaust. It's already really dark out because fall problems, but I got the car way up in the air. I'm gonna lay out the pipes first and see where I want to put everything, and then I'll start cutting and tacking and doing all that fun stuff. So I will 100% admit that I didn't think this through 100%, and I got a muffler that is wicked big. But I think I'll make it work. When I have it up in there right now, it's only slightly lower than the side skirt, maybe by ½ inch or so, and that's only by the rear wheels, so I think I'll be okay. But the way I have it now is right about here is where it bends behind the transmission. So the transmission sits about here, and this sits right under the drive shaft, and then there's these two hangers that are right in the front of the rear subframe, so I have those set up, and then this kind of curves up and out to either side behind the rear subframe. So it should be able to go back and then out the rear on both sides. But I kind of did this first because it's kind of the hardest part, and once I have those hangers on there, then I can kind of set this up and then make the front of the exhaust to the downpipe from here, and then the rear of the exhaust out the back from there. So it's kind of like a good center point to work from rather than just starting from the front and working all the way back. So this should work. But if I had to recommend doing it, I probably would have just ran 3-inch and then a split to 2.5, and then 2 mufflers, because that's kind of how it's set up in the car now. But this is definitely cheaper and it should work just fine. So this right here will be where the muffler will go. It's in between, just under the drive shaft, and then it splits back there to go under the subframe. And all I have to do is connect this to the future fab downpipe that's right here. So this is super convenient that the weld-on piece from the V-band actually sits inside, or I believe it actually sits over the other one. Either way, they slip into each other and lock in without even using the clamp. That's just to secure it. So this will make fabricating this part super easy, because all I have to do is butt this up here and tack it to the rest, and then I can plop the whole thing off and pull the whole exhaust off with it, and then weld all the way around. And then when I go to put it back together with the V-band, it'll fit perfectly already, which is awesome. So the way it is right now, you can see the other side skirt in the distance. The way it is right now, it's about a ½ inch lower in the front and about 1.5 inches lower toward the back. Now I'm almost positive I had at least 4 inches from the side skirt to the ground. I mean, I'm not going slammed, like I need functional, so it should be okay. And especially considering that the lowest point is close to the wheels, if I'm going over a big hump or something, it will be more problematic toward the center of the car between the wheels, and the lowest point there will be the side skirt. So it should be okay. Definitely not optimal. Like I said before, I should have went with 2 mufflers and then just had a pipe split in the middle. But this will be a lot easier, and I don't have the time to change it up. So we'll run this for now, but we'll see. I might actually lower it back down off the jack stands and then just make sure that works. So just for reference, that's a cut off of a 3-inch pipe, and I just rolled it and it went under the muffler barely, but so it's exactly 3 inches off the ground. So out of the front of the muffler, I have a 45 and another 45. I used the cutoff from the muffler because 3-inch pipe fits inside it, so that'll make a nice slip joint there. And then all I have to do is make a little turn up into the downpipe right here. So it looks almost exactly like 45 to me. I'll actually end up cutting this back a little bit after I cut that piece and kind of fit it, but it should be nice. So I welded up the V-band in the front, and then that seam there, and now I just have to tack this together, and then the whole exhaust will be tacked up to the subframe. So once I do this and tack this all in, then I will start tackling from the axle back for the tips, and then when I do that, then I'll take the whole exhaust out and weld it fully, paint it up, put it back in. I have this front half all tacked all the way to the muffler. Now I just have to focus. Now I just have to finish up the back half. I'm super frustrated with how quickly it gets dark. I've only been here for probably a half hour, and it's already getting to the point where video's gonna look like crap. Right now it's not bad. But side note, I am really enjoying welding. This is a blast, even though I'm not the greatest, but out of all the tedious chores I could be doing, I'm glad at least I'm making an exhaust. But once the exhaust is on, only a couple things I have to do. I have to swap fuel pumps because the one that was in there crapped the bed, and then I have to put a new power steering pump in because the one that came with the car is junk. But once those two things are done, then the car is actually drivable, and I'm definitely going to take it around the block for sure. Then beyond that, it's just some wiring things. But yeah, so I'm going to get back to finishing up the exhaust. But first I gotta show you guys something. So I ran out of 2.5-inch piping to finish up the back half of the exhaust. So I went to the local Advance Auto to see if I could snag some, 2-foot sections or something of 2.5-inch piping, and this is what I got. They had in stock 10 feet of 2.5-inch piping, and it was like $40 or something. It's all they had, so I had to grab it. But man, are these Subarus practical. I always find something that amazes me with this car. So I'm gonna try to carry this over there. Subi gang! This is a lot of pipe.
We should point out that Tim is 6'5".
Yeah.
It's a little bit tall.
I can't believe it fit in the car.
It's a good car.
So that's that all tacked up. I know it looks like shit, but that's the best I'm gonna get. So there it is out of the car. Now I just have to actually weld it all the way up. Wish me luck. Remember to always paint over your welds so they don't look like ass. Look at that. It's all together. Now I'm just gonna let the paint dry, and then I'll throw it in, and then we'll see how it sounds. Probably tomorrow. It's fully in, all bolted up. I'm gonna drop the car down and we'll get a good look at what it sits at finally. So there it is. I'll mount it up. Hangs a little lower than the pinch welds. But other than that, everything else clear is fine. So it's about 3 inches off the ground. Whereas my side skirt's probably 4 or 5. Probably 5. So shouldn't give me a problem. Alright, so now that it's all in, that's all set. And I tidied up a few other things that are going on that was preventing me from running it. I'm going to start it up and we'll see how it sounds. Keep our fingers crossed it doesn't sound like ass.
No, it's good. I like it.
Just for the record, that was fully warm. I already knew what it sounded like. Sorry, I lied. But
Clickbait.
I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to do that when it's cold.
Liar.
Oh, I think that sounds awesome.
I love it.
Oh, geez, that's right.
Yeah.
So that'll wrap up this video. In the next video, I'm going to tidy some stuff up and make the car actually drivable, which would be super awesome. But until then, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to keep following along with this car and all this other shenanigans, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.